Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. Wanted to bring you a quick update on LTC BTC. Blasting off right now, guys. We're up 12%, 11.59%. And guys, one of those whales stepped in that we always talk about, and you can tell by the candle. Look at that one candle that comes in, and look at this volume that comes in. So what we were looking at here was a potential triple top or head and shoulders right there with our RSI decreasing. And as we started to come back down a little bit more, whale stepped in and pushed us to the upside. And that's why we always have a plan for the upside and the downside, guys. And remember, in my opinion, it was looking more so like definitely we were going to drop down a little bit farther. But you always got a plan for both sides. And that's what you do in that situation, because those whales, when they step in, they step in, and they step in hard. As you can see by that volume stick. You know, that's not just a bunch of different retail investors every hour or whatever coming in. That's a big boy coming in and putting some good money. And so what we need to do now, in my opinion at least, remember this isn't financial advice, and if you all could like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, I appreciate it. I would look for a potential pullback onto this and see if we can hold this support right here, because this was resistance and we blasted up through. You saw where my red line was right here, guys, and we blasted up above that. And a lot of the times you'll start to have that pullback onto eventually here, once we start cooling down, a pullback onto the area that you broke out from. Old resistance becomes new support, and that's what we'll want to see at some point here, is if it's going to pull back and we're going to find support there, or if we're going to break through it, or if we're just going to continue to run. I don't know how much more we would continue to run considering where we're at right now on the RSI, but remember, anything can happen. So on the 4 hours, we're up at around 80 right now, guys. And what you're starting to see on the 4 hour here, and remember, this is just 4 hour, this isn't the 1 day, you're starting to see that shooting star candle. So do you see the wicks? That's where guys are taking profits. So traders right now, especially look at this one now. Remember, that can change. You have to wait for that close, but right now you're seeing those longer wicks and you're seeing that shooting star candle. So potentially, maybe we'll start to have that cooling off period throughout the day today, but we'll have to see. It could continue to run higher. It absolutely could. So next thing I want to show you guys, do you see how this 20 EMA, we've been talking about this 20 EMA and how powerful it is even down onto the 4 hour, and that's where we blasted up and out of, was off this 20 EMA here. We came through it, we closed right up above it, and then we came up here and we broke all this where we had all these wicks. And that was another reason why, besides the head and shoulders aspect of this, guys, there was a lot of wicks here, there's a lot of long wicks here, so there's a lot of profit taking, and it could have only taken a whale to step in and to move it to the upside like that. But we're up above here on the 4 hour, the 20 EMA, we're up above the 50 moving average, and we're up above that 200-day moving average. And that's on the 4 hours, and our RSI is at 80. And remember, these candles right here, what you're looking at, you want to wait for the close here and see what's happening. So now we're going to go out to the 8 hour, and we're just going to work our way out on the candles. So still looking like a shooting star there. And then we're going to go out to the 16, looking like a shooting star. And then we're going to go out to the 1 day and see where we're at. And we have a nice candle here, guys. If it were to close here, that is a very strong candle. But you always want to look for that. We want to come back and consolidate. It would be beautiful if we had this blast off. Say we even continue to run a little bit more today. We get up in here, and then we start to have that nice gradual pullback where we lose about 50% of the move or so. Because that's what you have, guys. Whenever you have those big pump ups, you at least usually lose 0.382. It'll hit that Fibonacci, or it'll hit that 50 Fibonacci, or that 0.618. And then you'll have that beautiful pullback, and then a potential bounce up there and a continued move higher. So that's what we're looking at right now. We have on the 1 day, we have a 50 moving average crossing over the 200-day moving average. So that's a golden cross there that has been powerful. And we're also holding this 20 EMA. We didn't give it up right here, and then the whales came in and pushed it to the upside. Now, overhead resistance is what I want to talk about next. So we're going to be looking most likely in this area right about in here. I would look at that 0.01522 is going to be some overhead resistance. And guys, we also want to close up above. I don't know if you're noticing this little wick here I just spotted. So you see where we got pushed up right there, that shooting star candle? We're going to want, there's our line right there, and we're sitting right on it. So we're going to see if we close up above that or below that, because that could be that resistance right there as well, and that's going to be around that 0.01375. Alright guys, and look at that area, that 0.014 0.077, and then right up around in here that 0.01602. And on the downside, obviously you would look to see this hold here around that 0.01301, and then I would look for that 20 EMA that has been so consistent. You know, even right here, guys, when we had this nice blast off, we probably only retraced to that 0.382. Then we came back up and we failed there. We came back down, failed again, and it was lower. And that's why we were looking at that head and shoulders of that triple top right there. Started to get pushed back down, and then there was that move. Whale stepped in and said, nope, it's going to continue going higher. For good reason. Litecoin's obviously a wonderful coin, guys. There's a lot of potential in it. But whenever you have those gap aways, see all that gap between this, all the price action, and this 20 EMA here, it usually always comes back to it, and it came right back to it. So don't be surprised, guys, if this EMA starts moving its way up and we come back to that and we end up meeting it around this area. That's a great possibility as well. But each time we've gapped away from it, here's a big gap, here's your green line, and then we came back to it. So we're going to have to continue to see what happens today. Right now it's still pointing north there on the RSI. We're at 69 right now. And then overhead resistance on the RSI would be that 73, and then it would be around that 84. So guys, that's what I'm looking at. Let's pay attention to the close today and see what happens. So if the close today, let me get the RSI off here. And we've seen a lot of manipulation in this game, so be careful, guys. That's all I'm saying, is just be careful. You know, if we see this today and then before the close it gets all the way back down in here, that means there's a lot of profit taking, and we're going to have to see if we can hold that or if it's just going to roll back over. Remember, there's a lot of pump fakes in this game too. So, you know, the way I want to trade is upside, downside, sideways. I don't want to get caught with my pants pulled down, and I know you guys don't want to either. So that's what we're doing here. Those are the things I'm looking at right now, guys. Really pay attention to the close today. I can't emphasize that enough. And see where we are at. See where that real body's at. That's what you want to look for. Is that real body? Is there going to be a long wick, or is that body going to continue to move up, short wick, and we're going to even push up a little bit farther? So keep your eye on it, guys. God bless each and every one of you.